Hi, I am Naman Bagdi, and in today's video, I will be talking about assets. My focus will be on financial assets rather than real assets, but to give an overview of assets as a whole, I will also be talking in brief about real assets. Before we go into any real deep explanation of what assets are, of what real assets and financial assets are, I would like to talk about assets as a whole. What are assets? Assets are any resources that hold economic value, and they're either owned by a company or an individual. So now let's talk about real assets. Real assets are physical assets. You can touch them, such as gold, land, real estate, and other such commodities. Real assets also tend to generate net income towards the economy. Now, let's move on to today's biggest topic, financial assets. Financial assets, unlike real assets, are non-physical assets. You cannot touch them. Two financial assets include bonds and shares. Let's talk about bonds first. Bonds are any loan to a company that pays investors interest over fixed time periods. Bonds come in two types, secured bonds and unsecured bonds. Secured bonds have security, such as mortgages, where the house is the security. They either have a fixed or a variable rate of interest. Unsecured bonds, just as the name suggests, they have no security, such as most credit cards. They also either have a fixed or variable rate of interest. Now, let's switch gears and let's talk about shares. Shares are also financial assets, except they're a little different from bonds. There are two types of shares, preference shares and equity shares. In preference shares, the dividend rate is steady and they hold no voting rights. On the other hand, we have equity shares. In equity shares, the dividend rate fluctuates, but they hold voting rights. That concludes today's talk. Thank you for watching.